Hey guys, I'm sorry about the really shitty lighting. Uh, all I have is you can't even see it. See, that's literally all I have. And I'm literally just using a webcam off the internet. But anyways, I'm here to review. What am I reviewing? Oh, The Walking Dead season 7, episode 2. I really like this episode. I thought this was a pretty well written episode. It was definitely a lot bit of a chill out from last week, which I didn't find a problem at all. I thought it was nice and a nice change of pace. Some people expected like this episode to be better somehow. I'm like, you can't really, if you're gonna compare this week's episodes to last week and what you were expecting, you're you're gonna be disappointed. Like, I mean, you can't bash somebody's head in every episode. So I think this was a nice setup for what is to come this season, which I already know what it's setting up to. And I think anybody with common sense, regardless of whether you read the comics, knows where the season's going to go, and I like where it's going to go. I'm not sure that the complete all-out war storyline will be done all this season. Probably, maybe the first part of all-out war will be done this season. Maybe. But, yeah. It should be pretty cool, Yeah, it should be cool. But I think, all in all, though, the episode was very well written. They handled Ezekiel very well, it was cool in the comics, personally. But it was something that could be a little iffy translated to live action television. And it was done flawlessly, in my opinion. And it was explained to people who probably had the same reaction as Carol. Were like, what the I don't know about this. This guy acting like he's a king. But the one-on-one conversation later in the episode really helps. But anyways, we leave the group this episode to get to Morgan and Carol. Morgan and Carol taken to the kingdom. She's healing. Brings her in to meet King, or Morgan brings her in to meet King Ezekiel, and she's like, the fuck is this? And she's like, I have no idea what's going on here. This guy's cuckoo. And, he has a tiger, which was awesome. Shiva. She was awesome. She looked really good in the TV series. Surprisingly, because they don't have like Game of Thrones level money. So it was amazing that they're actually really amazing how good The Walking Dead looks for not having Game of Thrones level money. Which I think it honestly, not Game of Thrones level money because it's on AMC, but still should have a little more of a budget than it gets. Imagine though if The Walking Dead was on Game of Thrones. I can imagine if The Walking Dead was on HBO. Like, that would be really fucking cool, wouldn't it? And the seasons would be shorter, so that means the seasons would be a lot better. Don't get me wrong, The Walking Dead seasons are really good, but they suffer from being just a tad bit too long, so they have to drag shit out. Anyways, let's get back to the episode. Anyway, so, they leave that, they meet this kid, Benjamin, who you find out is the kid of a friend of Ezekiel's, and Ezekiel cares about this kid a lot because he was his friend's son and he got him killed, and he wants to keep him alive for the sake of the community. He's not a coward, he's just not great with weapons. He's more of a bookworm. Think of it this way. He's the Samwell Tarly. Brave kid, or Sam didn't start off brave. That's maybe kid who wants to help. He's just not really good with weapons. His knowledge lies in other places. But he essentially becomes Morgan's Padawan, and that was pretty cool. Isn't it? Oh, the freaking scene where Carol falls off the thing, and they're like riding, like looking like freaking Riders of Rohan on the zombies. That was cool, and yeah, that was pretty cool. And then you have Carol going on this I don't want to be here thing, I want to run off again. I need, to leave. But but it leads to one of the best one-on-one and conversations, one of the most well-written conversations I've ever seen on not just The Walking Dead, but on TV. It was a real good one-to-one person conversation. Basically, Ezekiel lays out all the cards and tells them, you can't bullshit a bullshitter, because that the King Ezekiel act is a thing that he puts on, because when they met him and he had the freaking tiger, they're like, dude, this dude's legit. So they, took on that persona of being a king. He wanted to give people hope and somebody they could trust in and believe in. And he straight up said that, he does it for himself. That it makes him feel good to know that he is protecting and helping people. Because, he was a caretaker at the zoo. So it helps him to know that he's taking care of something that makes him feel good. And that just feels so good to hear that there's just a straight up, honest to ground, blunt, honest person in the apocalypse, and just a really good dude. I think that Ezekiel essentially is replacing Glenn as the hope of the show, the heart. You know what I mean? Man, Glenn sucks. That sucks, dude. It still sucks he's dead. Anyways, as the heart of the show, and he's like, why don't you leave? But not leave. So he takes Carol out to the house, and she's hang out there until she's ready to come back, because she's gonna have to realize that in this world you can't be by yourself. You're gonna need somebody in some capacity. But with that being said, I enjoyed this episode very, very much. I think it's one of the best written episodes of The Walking Dead. Not action-packed, but very, very well written. An 8.5 out of 10 was a good episode. But next week's episode looks interesting. It should be a good one. I hope that we get to see what Rick and company are up to. But looking at the promos and stuff, I don't think so. Only because it seems like we're gonna get a look at almost at the compound, the sanctuary, and what the saviors do. Kind of like how we got to see what the kingdom does. But we'll get to see what's up with Daryl, and we'll get to see what's up with Dwight. I think they'll start to make us feel a little more for Dwight this episode, because Dwight went from a character in the comics you didn't like to a character, yeah, he's not really that bad of a guy. You like him. And I think that's what they're going to try to do with this episode. Because to be honest with you, a lot of people are thinking, Daryl's going to kill Dwight. I don't think Daryl will kill Dwight. I think Dwight will be around for a while. They're just going to have to change up Dwight's format a little bit, because Daryl's already rocking the crossbow, vest, whatnot. And I have a theory. How, real quick, the saviors burn people's face for punishment? Mark my words. Not only will Rick get his hand cut off this season, but that will happen to Daryl. I guarantee it. He will be running his mouth to Negan, not be able to control his temper, and then you're gonna have a barbecued Daryl. So, yeah. I will be back for next week's episode of The Cell. Until then, peace out, my dudes.